afternoon. My name is Jason Wysong. My colleague is Jensen, and we are honored to work for a public school district that is working on many of the innovations that you all are reading about and that we've heard about today. The concept we're going to discuss with you this afternoon is SI-HI. SI stands for Problem Solving Incubator, and this is a new high school in our district that opened earlier this year. Before we talk about the school, we want to give you a little bit of context regarding our school district. Again, Seminole County Public Schools is located just north of Orlando, Florida. We have 67,000 students in the district. Approximately 54% are economically disadvantaged. And over the years, our initiatives have changed, but our values and our priorities, as articulated by our board in its strategic plan, have stayed the same, and that is excellence and equity, and we aspire to those goals in everything that we do. Our current superintendent, Dr. Walt Griffin, is a visionary turnaround principal at the middle and high school levels, and in 2011, he read the Harvard Graduate School of Education report entitled Pathways to Prosperity, which calls for a new social compact with youth and a different educational system. And for the last 6 years, we've been working to implement a number of innovations focused on customized learning environments that truly prepare students to be college, career, and citizenship ready. Derek is going to talk to you more about SI-HI and how we designed the school.
Awesome, thank you so much, Jason. I feel a great sense of connection to everyone in this room, everyone who's already spoken, because I feel like we're all trying to do the same thing, which is we see what needs to change. We see that something needs to change in education to address the changing economy, our students' needs, what we see out there in the world, and we're all actively working towards that together and all have some really tremendous ideas for it. So I want to share ours with you. What we did first, though, was in order to redesign the high school experience, we had to talk to some high schoolers. So Dr. Griffin asked me to put together teams of high schoolers, and originally we were supposed to meet over the course of a month, after school, once a week, for 2 hours, 4 weeks for 1 month. At the end of the month, those 15 to 16 students asked me if they could stay and keep meeting with me every week. And so I said, sure, and we met for over a year after that. And they would show up and we'd talk about questions, talk about what their day was like, and what they saw is the great things about their school experience and the things that needed to change in their school experience. And I think the things that they said needed to change will resonate with all of us because we all see it. So the first was, how do we inspire students who feel disconnected from each other and the curriculum, right? This is a question of engagement. Like most of our kids expressed that they weren't engaged all the time at school. How do we design curriculum that actually helps students with their future goals in the creative economy? Here we're talking about skills. We're not just talking about the core curriculum, right? Students feel classwork is often boring and inauthentic. How do we make work that matters and is highly rigorous at the same time? And finally, many students do not have an adult at school that they feel they can trust. And this is a relationships issue. And as we're seeing in our schools now, building effective relationships with our students is a huge, huge need. So how do we create a school structure that does that? Well, we took all of those design questions back to our district teams over all of our different departments, and our students worked with them to author a grant. And the students and district teams co-wrote a grant, submitted it to XQ, the Super School project, and were awarded a $1 million grant to redesign the high school experience and start this endeavor. And that endeavor is SI-HI, an entrepreneurial, relationship-driven program which really is owned by our students and includes 3 major changes to the learning experience. The first of those major changes is a hyper-focus on problem-based learning. In all of our content areas and bridging all of those content areas, students every semester tackle a human-centered design project of their own imagining. So they pick whatever topic they want, and it's integrated into every curriculum area as well as project time. We support those with all of our core teachers simultaneously, and because it's passion-based, every student gets a different experience. This is Caleb. Caleb's actually creating a journey map for her project right now, and Caleb's project was super cool. Caleb didn't like the lunchroom food. Caleb thought she was going to create a new menu for the lunchroom. After Caleb talked to the cafeteria workers, talked to students who use the cafeteria, she realized it wasn't a food problem, it was an efficiency problem in the cafeteria. And right now, Caleb's going to be designing an app that addresses that efficiency problem.
The core element to Sci-High, the thing that makes it work, is strong partnerships with our business community. And we call these impact partnerships because they go beyond just having a classroom speaker or doing a job shadow at a business. They really go much deeper. And so our students are very interested in solving community problems, and our businesses are interested in helping to solve that potential future skills gap in their workforce. And so we bring the students together in project teams to solve an authentic problem identified by the business. And one of the keys to this formula is bringing in a lot of different types of businesses. So when this started, we really thought that students would be most interested in STEM-based problems, but really we found that they're very attracted to social causes and to very difficult problems that are tackled typically by local 501c3 organizations. And so we've really been working with a variety of groups, some small startups and again local 501c3s up through big international corporations that have a presence in Orlando and that see the value in working with high school students. And so you can see kind of a sample of the partners that we've engaged at the local level. But the key is that students are engaged in design thinking. They're also learning about project management and systems thinking at a very young age, and we know that will give them lots of advantages when they move into college. All of this is coming together to create learning that we believe will be truly interdisciplinary. And so when you have an English language arts teacher who's hitting the standards and infusing skills, but also taking the time once a week to really talk about those projects and how standards and skills impact them, you get a lot of learning synergy. We've got a lot of plans for the future, including supporting student startup development and then infusing these practices into all of our traditional schools as well. Thank you for your attention.